I said, I heard you got a good job. She said, yeah, I got a good job. I said, well, you know, that white privilege must be working out for you. She's like, yeah, well, I don't have the criminal background
No,
that you have.
first I started with, I'm sure that
I'm like,
it's
oh, I got something to say, voice to the voiceless, and then I'm playing music, and we're going to, hey, wow, let's get into it. All right? You got it? So, tape, SAF, Mo, your prison lawyer, I'm with my guy, Ron.
And I can see it from all sides.
We are the voice of the voiceless, and this is I Got Something to Say.
But hold up, I got something to say.
I got something to say.
Shout out to the convicted fellas out here doing better than the people with no felonies.
I got something to say.
I got something to say.
Let's talk about Kelsie today.
Let's recap. I mean, let's not just talk about Kelsie. Let's just talk about, because if y'all saw last time, before we even started doing our episodes, we had a female come on and tell her story about the situation she was in. We want to recap with her. We're gonna have her speak a little bit later, but right now we just want to talk about our week, what we've been doing, how we've been doing it, what's been going on. You know what I'm saying? What's been going on? Since numbers been crazy, Joe. We've been off the chain. I mean, I want to thank everybody for supporting us, liking us, subscribing to us,
Sharing.
SoundCloud, I Got Something to Say, Instagram, I Got Something to Say, YouTube, I Got Something to Say. We're everywhere. I Got Something to Say. Like, subscribe. If you want us, we appreciate it, but we've already put out a challenge that we wanted to get 10,000 viewers. Subscribers, on our platform before we go live on Saturday. You guys are doing it, just let's keep it going. I've been getting a lot of love in the community from individuals who are coming up to us saying they like what we're doing, they appreciate us, because we're speaking the truth and giving individuals opportunity to tell their side of the story. We are the voice of the voiceless. Ron, what you got to say? Ron in the middle.
Well, I think we had a pretty good week. I talked to a few people, got some things set up for us for the future.
Like who you talk to? You want to
I
drop
talked to
names?
a guy from, I don't want to drop any names right now, but we got a guy, a black man that owns a liquor store in the neighborhood.
Yes, yeah.
And he's into politics. He's an old school kind of guy, and he has a lot to say. He's been around in Minnesota. I think he's from Kansas City area, but he's been in Minnesota since they went through the Rondo area and Moran 94 through there.
Okay.
So he got a lot to say about that, how they took down the black businesses and stuff like that, about the community, and how we as black people need to stick together and get back together and start helping each other.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of it starts with the community. And I always say that, at the end of the day, I mean, we could point blame at everybody, but at fault, I feel like it's the community. I feel like if the community fails the individual fails the community, right? So if we're not actively going back to the youth and showing them role models of individuals, things like I said, an African American guy who owns a liquor store. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the preachers I want to see people in commerce agents, politicians. That makes our the youth strive to be better teachers. So yeah, I mean, I definitely in Rondo.
The more I hear about Rondo, it seems like it was the Minnesota's version of Black Wall Street, and you don't see Black Wall Street in Minnesota because you think it's lily white, but then you hear stories about Rondo, and then the thing about it, what's interesting, and I think you told me about it, was the fact that this federal policy that removed Rondo because 94 was coming through.
It also removed a lot of other businesses throughout all the black businesses throughout the nation.
There was a circle of money. There was all types of businesses right there in that community that had a circle of money staying in that community and multiplying in that community, and it's gone now.
Yeah, and
It's gone now.
the thing about it too is that it's residents, because you look at, because if anybody, and nobody really knows that's not from Minnesota, they're not familiar with that Rondo area. That area, and you stay in that area is very wealthy,
Yeah.
because it's where the governor stayed, right?
Yeah, it's from Lexington. It's where 94 is, from Lexington all the way to Western.
Yeah, and we have black homes, we have black businesses, but now that area has been gentrified, and you see more Caucasians in that area, you see $1 million houses in that area, but you can imagine if the wealth stayed in that area, that would have been different. It would have been different, yeah, it would be different, whole different. So that was interesting, we talked about that. We also, we had a good, About Us episode, you know, that I think that people were really able to feel who we were, you know, understand who we were, and I seen the numbers based on that, who reached out for us, and I wanna thank everybody for that. You watched it a few times, what did you take back from that About Us?
I like it. My part that I keep going back to and looking at over and over again is the part where you asked me about what did I bring, what do I do now that when I was in prison that I brought it out here with me.
Yeah,
And I think about that all the time. I keep thinking about that. I can't quit thinking about it. And then after I seen the video drop last night, I seen it again. And it's just the courtesy festival. It ain't too much that I brought out. I intentionally didn't get any tattoos because I didn't want anything to remind me about prison. But I constantly want to be reminded about my experience in prison. That's why I took on this project right here with you, because trouble is easy to get into and it's hard as hell to get out of.
that's how they make all their money.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the money side of it. It's just that one night out. I mean, how many dudes you had? I mean, I know a guy that you know, one night out turned into second degree murder. You know what I'm saying? Because the person he was with, she ended up ODing, or not ODing, but she something happened to her. They was drinking. It could have been anything. And instead of him reporting to the police, he didn't. Look like a cover up. And I know a couple of different guys who were with females that went out on the night, had a great time, supposedly, and somebody ended up happening to that individual, and they're sitting in prison. I'm sure the night after they were wondering what the hell happened. How did this happen? How did I get here? You know, and understanding that it was just an accident, but that their actions, the law took their actions and used it against them. And basically what I'm saying is that it's just like, you know, you go into prison not wanting to like you said it, I did the best, because we were talking about what happened over in St. Paul. We're talking about those two dudes that did some foolishness, you know. And last night we were out, and you were like, you know, the worst thing about prison is waking up in county jail and hoping that what happened is a dream.
Yeah. You know how many times I got a DUI down in Florida, and I was really drunk that night. Only thing I remember is pulling over for the lights. I seen the lights with the cherries behind me. After that, it's a total blackout. Until I woke up in the county jail, sleeping on that brick slab, and I was still drunk. That's how drunk I was, and I woke up, and I look around the room like this, and I see these brick walls, and the cherries start coming back into my memory. And I closed my eyes and said, I hope this is a dream. Just let me go back to sleep, and this is just a bad dream. And I went back to sleep, and I woke up, and it was still real. Still real.
I didn't really have that, because I went through county jail thinking that I was going to win my case. It happened to me when I got to my joint. Not the reading facility. It happened when I actually got to Faribault, and I would go to sleep at Faribault turn my back to the wall, sleep, and hope that I was sleeping in my bed. I mean, I was still like 6 months into my bed, I'm still in my mind, not physically present in what's going on, because I'm still denying it. Not really wanting to face the fact that I'm going to be away from my family for the next 8.25 years, so many years. That's what I'm dealing with, and I think that's a lot with just denying the fact that, hey, you know what, this is. Take one. I got something to say. You recording?
Yep.
Recording. Everybody, we got something to say. We are the voice of the voiceless. We are the voice of the voiceless. We got something to say. We are the voice of the voiceless, right? And we promised that, like I said, it was a recap. So we got our girl here, and she's about to lay down the law. She's about to tell us what time it is. I'm about to give her a drum roll. And another drum roll. My girl, hit it. Tell us what's going on now.
Thank you. Yeah, we had spoken before about my domestic case, which isn't the case at all. But I guess the newest update is I waited my 30 days, like they told me to, so I could report my car stolen. When I contacted them, they said that I was supposed to contact the impound lot and do like a location search for my car. And since I didn't know that, because I didn't know
Wait,
to do
hold
that,
on. They didn't tell you that the first time?
absolutely not. I had no idea. They
Is
told
that
me I
on-
had to wait my 30 days.
Is that on their website? Is that on a website?
I honestly, I listened to what the officer said.
Hey,
I didn't search it.
I'm just saying like that. You said that night they kept telling you, oh, go to the website, go to the website, go to the website.
So what does that mean now?
So since I didn't do that, they never started my 30 days.
What? It's crazy.
So when your 30 days start now?
They started yesterday when I physically went into the 4th precinct.
This is not, hey, I just want to let everybody know this is not a comedy show.
So how many days has it been since your car been stolen right now?
That's what I'm saying.
It was stolen September the 11th, so it's the 16th now. I'm
9/11.
I know.
Yeah,
The
so
11th
it's
It's 10/16. That is
no, we're 30 days.
35 days.
It's over 30. And these dudes just driving around town kicking it. You know what I'm saying? The holiday gas station filling up.
Yeah.
He's still on the run. I mean, the justice system's working really good. These people want to, I mean, come on, man. I'm not trying to say more police, more than anything. But I'm just saying, like, you have laws, but they seem to work against people.
So it's going to be 64 days that your car has been stolen by the time you're able to report your car stolen.
Assuming they put in the right stuff this time.
Hey, right.
Right. There's always something.
I've kind of lost my faith in that, so
Yeah.
maybe in 30 days I'll be able to get my car reported stolen.
And I've been lost my faith in these people. I told you. I don't believe that that's just ridiculous. I mean, I watch cops.
Mm-hmm.
I see cops, they pull them up, taking people to jail. Like, what happened here? What? The system failed? What? And I still don't understand it. Like, the car is gone. It's not in my
That's
possession.
just wrong.
Yeah.
So you look happier this time than we seen you last time. Well, was there anything else changed in your life since the last time we had an interview with you?
Yeah, I hightailed it out of the city. I don't live in the city anymore because I felt like,
Don't say where
I
you
just
live
couldn't. So no, I'm not going to. But I got a new job. I had to get a new car. I had to purchase a new car because without a police report saying it's stolen, you can't go through your insurance to get money back to get a new car. So
Right.
that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of like fight or flight mode. And you guys probably saw that when you talked to me before, but like that was a really desperate moment. So I knew like I can sit here and I can dwell, or I can get my life back the way I want it.
Right.
So
Well, you think about it, if he came back and called you, would you be interested in a conversation with him? Not to say no names, just saying that, like I said, if he's like, oh, I just made a mistake. No, I mean, I'm locked up now. Because I'm sure once he gets popped, he's going to be calling you, blowing your phone up. Because he's going to want somebody to, he's either going to blame you for the situation, because you're going to have to report the car stolen. At that particular time, they're going to find the car and find him in the car if he still has it. So you think, like, is there any possibilities that this thing could work itself out?
no, not at all. But he has called me. I have everything blocked now, but after we spoke, he did call me and he tried to do the whole, it was just the misunderstanding, right? I didn't steal anything from you. Like, I still have it. We're fine. Like, everything like that. Like, when are you coming back? Like, and at that point, I was just like, okay, I can't take another call. Like,
Right, so you blocked,
so I blocked his numbers. He hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, everything. So I had to block things one by one as he like hit me up on them. You know, I didn't even know I had him on Instagram, to be honest. But yeah, so it's just been one after the other blocking stuff.
So what I usually do in these situations, because to me it seems like you said he was just trying to tell you it was a misunderstanding. The car was never stolen. I never beat you up. Blah, blah, blah.
A little gaslighting.
I usually just bring like a box of Lucky Charms because they magically delicious. Feed you Lucky Charms and be like, none of this happened, right? That's all you had to do, right?
You said that at that point when you got that last phone call that you had to say, you know what, enough is enough. What made you make that decision? Did you start to feel some type of way? Did you start to feel like you wanted to go back and you was like, no, I can't go back? Or what made you just
Was
say,
it a podcast? Did you see the video? Did you watch that? Did that anything that like that resonate with you? Like, man, I'm looking at this. This is not me. I'm not trying to be that person.
I actually haven't gone back and listened to the podcast of me. I've listened to other ones, but I don't want to relive it. So I kind of wrote it out in my journal too, just so like I have a record of everything. But I just don't want to relive that night over and over.
Yeah.
And so there's no me ever going back to him. I feel like having to run away and find a car to flag down. Like, I knew at that moment, like, I never wanted to like be in his physical presence ever again.
Okay.
Even when I came over to go to the 4th precinct, like, I was so nervous, and I've never been nervous to come over to North Minneapolis ever. I lived there for years. I was just so nervous, and that was definitely like, yeah, that's how I feel. I never want to be in his presence. I don't want him to find me. I just don't want any part of it.
Well, yeah, so that's just sort of what I was looking at is like, you know, you got a good life, you're out of the situation. What about the vehicle? Are you got any hopes of getting that vehicle back at? And what would you do when you get it back? Just trash it? Because I'm sure it's, you know, it's not, you know, he's just driving it. He's not doing anything to maintain it.
Oh, I'm sure he's not. That's kind of like where my friends are at, like they're telling me I'm like keeping the situation alive because I do want to report it stolen and keep this going. But how I feel about it is I worked really hard for that car.
Yeah, why are
I
you?
paid for that car.
Yeah, why are you?
Myself.
Yeah, why are
I've
you?
maintained that car myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's mine.
Exactly.
Not to mention every little thing in it, including like a gum wrapper in that car, is mine.
Yeah, why are you giving entitlement to someone who didn't work for it? The other thing, are you guys sharing the same friends still? Or I think that was one of the issues, you guys were ending up in the same places because you sort of had that same area of friends, and it was kind of hard to get yourself out of it because you didn't want to be with him, but you wanted to be with them. So is that still going on?
I do still speak to one person that like has contact with him, but it's on a whole like different level. Like, I was helping her, tutoring her in her college classes and stuff like that. And I had promised her that I'd be there for her if she started back up in school, so I didn't want to let her down.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've cut everything, like everybody else, off. I don't speak to anybody that knows him.
don't listen to your friends neither about not reporting that car stolen because that car is in your name. If something happened to that car, if something happens in that car, murder or accident, anything, they come to see you. They're not coming to see him.
No. Yeah.
You don't report it stolen, it's on you.
Yeah, he can do anything in that car right now, and it's going like he could be racking up parking tickets.
Yeah. I've had a car in the past that they didn't switch over the title, and a year later, an auto body shop said, you owe me a year's worth of storage fees for this car, or you're going to sign the car over. And I'm like, somebody already paid me cash for it, I'll just sign it over to you. Like, this is not my car, I have the little slip that says I sold it to them, type of thing. So I covered myself in that instance. But yeah, I think about that too,
it's just
like anything.
You're gonna get a slew. They were talking about taking your license away from you for project kids you never had. You know, so I've got a vehicle right now, and if people keep trying to get me to sell the vehicle on payments, I'm like, I'm cool with the payments, but I'm not turning over my title because I'm on parole. One ticket in my name my name pops up, and everything I get, because I'm on parole, I have to report to my PO. So I don't know about the ticket. You're driving a car, you don't tell me, because it's minor, right? A ticket is minor. You get a parking ticket in Minneapolis, you pay it. But for me, it's enough for him to be like, oh, you didn't tell me about that incident, you're not being forthright, and I'm gonna violate you. You know, or have that be an issue. Like, well, you didn't tell me you sold your car, and I didn't know it wasn't you, and how do I know wasn't you that did this parking ticket? So it has a whole nother counter. It's just totally different for me, but I can see that being an issue with you later on down the line, where you get a $300 worth of parking tickets for something you did not do, just because it's not his vehicle. He doesn't care. He doesn't really. He doesn't care. Yeah. So
I don't think that he cares whatsoever.
He
I don't
doesn't
think
care.
he's maintaining it. It's an old car, to be honest. It has an oil
Yeah,
leak,
but
and he doesn't ever want to put gas in it. And so I feel like it's probably dead already somewhere. It's just not somewhere that I can physically know where it is or get it, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, it's probably on a jack somewhere.
I'm assuming it's gone. But
Yeah, but I mean, like you say, I think the resolution to it is for you to say, dispose of it, not someone else. Because if it's gone, then let me do what I'm going to do with it. It's my vehicle. But for someone else, I think it's almost a slap in the face, where you're not only benefiting from driving this vehicle, you ultimately are the individual who drives it. But the reason we buy cars or have a vehicle is for us to be able to benefit. I paid all these payments on it. Now I want to drive it until it dies, and when it dies, I'm turn. But now if someone else gets that benefit, and I don't think that's fair. But like I said, I don't think this situation is the reason I was so attracted to it, because I felt like it was just unbelievable.
I felt like the police was slapping her in the face and giving her the runaround, because the type of people or race of people that you chose to date and be with. That's how I feel. I mean, I've been wrong before, but I feel like I'm right about this situation. The way they're treating you over the phone, the way they're giving you the runaround and not telling you all the details and the things that you need to do to be able to report your car stolen. All the signs are pointing in that direction.
Yeah, but that's not their job to try to teach her a lesson. They're
Right.
police. But last time we spoke to her understanding of the police is totally different than my understanding of the police. I would say that. And to me, I feel like they're not doing their job. And the fact that, I mean, if you're paying taxes and you're supporting this organization, and you say you have an issue, I mean, even if it was, when they came, the first time they came through, they should have said, hey, have you done X, Y, Z? Have you done this? Have you done that? Okay, now the 30 days will start. Opposed to like, okay, we're gonna let you wait 30 days and then at the end of the day, at the end of 30 days, be like, oh, well, you didn't do this. It's just like, now it's a game.
It is a game.
Yeah, it's just a game.
It was the initial officers who picked me up, and it was the 2 calls that I made. Those are 3 contacts that they could have told me how this process worked.
There are times you were talking to him on the phone and he was telling you to go to the website and look up the website. He could have been like, okay, you said you made a complaint or filed a whatever again for your car. Who did you do it with? Because you probably need to do it at the impound lot to start with, to make sure the time's running, along with as you count your 30 days, you're counting your 30 days correctly. I can't believe it's the first time it's ever happened. And yes, indeed, I think if it was another situation, if it was the complexities were different or situation was different, she would have got the whole rundown and she would not be sitting in the situation right now. It's like we're teaching you a lesson.
If her last name was Bush or Trump, her car would have been back already.
Her name was Kelsie from Anoka County, who's dating a white guy. It's just like, to me, it's like, okay, we found you over north. We're sick of all this stuff that's going on, and you don't learn your lesson. Don't call us. You're on your own, and you go find your car.
That is something, when I went into the police station and spoke to him, he ran my name, and the first thing he pulled up was my restraining order against my ex-husband. And then he was like, oh, so it's somebody different. And I felt like, thanks.
Let me interpret that. oh, it's another black dude.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't learn your lesson from the first one?
Mhm.
Okay, well,
Mhm.
this time, you're gonna learn your lesson.
Mhm.
You know, and I think, that's a segue.
We're not going through this BS at you anymore.
We're the voice of the voiceless, and,
That's
I'm like,
my
oh.
privilege. I'm sure it's my privilege, but also quite have the things.
oh my God, I'm like, go say, okay.
There's more differences.
Like, shots
between
fired?
white- No, I don't even know what your charges are. Like, I didn't try to look you up. Like, I have no clue.
Oh, you can, it's all
So
good.
it's fine, but I wasn't like shooting at you. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
He just being
So
facetious.
we taping on that?
No.
No, right now.
No, it's not, that's not recorded. We're ready for the
Let's go,
recap.
let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. This her episode's gonna be episode 3. Episode 2 is Chantel. So let's just go introduce ourselves. Wait a second, because I'm gonna play the music in the back, and then we're gonna go. Because what I'm gonna start doing is when we gonna if this is Ron, this is Mo, this is Mo, this is Ron.
University, man, we got resources for all of our brothers and sisters.